I got stuck on a toilet. I was like, I've been on the toilet for 30 minutes replying comments, you know what I mean? So
Draw your last pathetic card so I can end this, Yugi.
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba. But it does contain the unstoppable
Dueling Wave.
what's up, guys? It's your boy Dueling Wave, and hey, I'm genuinely shocked at the support that I got from the last video. Really appreciate you guys for commenting, for liking, for subscribing. The video killed it. Who knew that Yu-Gi-Oh! Hate content was so popular? I didn't. I thought you guys wanted to see tournaments and deck profiles and blah, 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 blah. But it seems that the algorithm, I guess not the algorithm, the people appreciate someone that can finally just say, I've had enough, and here's the truth about this game. And quite frankly, I think that I went a little bit easy and I could have gone much more harshly than I did in that first video. My frustrations with this game have truly just been at an all-time peak, and it's bewildering to me that Konami, while they do incremental changes, while they do incremental changes to the game, where some of your comments, you guys posted comments that I tend to agree with. You go, oh, negates aren't as big of a problem as they were in the past. If we're talking about past and Adamantipator format, right, they're not as problematic, or hell, even like 2 years ago. But if we're honest with ourselves, I mean, negates have been a prominent part of the game up until like yesterday. Master Duel, right? If anyone plays Master Duel on here, every single deck and their mother, if you could make links, you would just make Appaloosa as part of your end board. I kid you not, when I was designing the FK ban list, the most recent one, and I'm scouring resources, I'm scouring YouTube channels, we're testing, we're doing all sorts of other stuff. When I was scouring YouTube channels to just get, you know what, let me see what kind of deck profiles I can find and combos, what can this deck even make so that I can limit its power in our format so that the game, so that there is nothing, if I hit the current top stuff, that there isn't just a bunch of degenerate stuff that comes up to the top and becomes a new degen. And every single deck that I was able to find, there was a channel, Master Duel Moha or Mona or something like that. Every single deck, doesn't matter what, every single deck that wasn't locked out from links or extra deck, its end board was Appaloosa plus a gazillion other things, right?
And Dragus into Appaloosa. For the new main combo, you just need Diabell's Masquerina and Princess into Appaloosa. Activate wanted to draw one. And finally, link Heaven, Diabellster, and Sylvia into a 3-material Appaloosa. However, if you had an extra monster in hand to tribute for Deception instead of tributing Rextrament.
So it has its, like, here's an example. Gladiator Beasts. Gladiator Beasts would make like 3 or 4 of their own negates plus an Appo negate. So you'd have 8 to 9 negates on one field. That was Master Duel. You guys might not think that there was a negate problem, but there was. That was a huge problem. The most recent format that I really took seriously, competitively wise, was Yugioh. In Yugioh format, which was not too long ago. That was last year, I believe, right? Yugioh was straight up insane. It would make a Omni Negate to protect its board, right? That's all. You only need one Omni Negate if you have other crazy interrupts plus negates on your board. If you have one Omni Negate and 2 Summon Negates, double Solemn Warning functionally, what does that make? I mean, those are negates. Those are cards that invalidate your cards, don't allow you to play the game. So you would never activate the Varudris until your Caesar or something else was threatened. You then had, if someone was trying to battle you, you'd have the Unchained Soul of Rage, which is not a negate, but then it would go 1 card, right? You have the 1 boss monster on your field that would turn into 1 interrupt by removing your dude from the field, go into an SP, which then would remove another card on your field, permanently banishing it. So it's 1 to link 2, just converted 2 of your monsters into, or I guess 1 monster and another card into nothing. And then on top of that, when you activate your next effect, it can banish itself and another card, Farfa, basically until the end phase. That was 1 monster on that field. That's 3 interrupts in 1 monster, combined with double Caesar negate, which invalidates 2 of your summons, which sometimes means if you have a monster or born type card in your archetype or whatever, you can't even bring stuff back from the grave because it was negated, never was summoned, right? So then you have Varudras to protect all of that. And on top of that, you'd have Phantom of Yubel. Oh wait, another negate. Yes, guys, negates haven't been a problem since TOS format or whatever format you guys want to talk about. No, negates have been a problem till yesterday, and they're still a problem. Dude, Barone was a thing for years. Barone Savage Apo is the meme board. It's literally a meme. That's how long it was a thing. Every deck would just make that. That was its standard end board. Yes, I know it's been hit. Konami finally did it because we complained so much. Guess what? Konami will do some stupid stuff like that again. We haven't seen the end of this. On top of that, before I lose my train of thought, we didn't have negates this year, right? There weren't that many negates. I guess we're not counting in, EDDs, the Zeus King negating hand effects or grave effects. We're not counting Ripper to negate hand effects or grave effects. We're not going to count Alice Allied Code Ad Ignister effect, which can negate and banish and is a double Monster Reborn, or actually like a triple Monster Reborn if you want to play into Nib. We're not going to talk about Draco Tail Flame. That's not a negate either. We're not going to talk about Herald of an Arclight, which is a floodgate and a negate in one that searches you something. Yes, negates are not a problem at all. We're not going to talk about the problem that in one of the most prominent YCSs of the year, the meta was functionally Dice Roll Simulator. The meta was, you go first, you make FTK board, I can't break it. I go first, I K9 Crystron, summon Mjolnir on your field, and you lose. That's better than negates. The point of my last video was negates, floodgates, and hand traps. And in the current meta, that's all you see. In the current last 6 years of the meta decks, that's all you see. I guess Draco Tail is the only exception, and they do have their own negate. It's just as like a mid of a negate as possible. It still gets you a ton of advantage. It's a card that negates your opponent's card, but it does it the Ash way. See, they're really clever. They'll make a negate that through card design being a problem, they'll make a card that negates the effect and not the activation. So then, I made a video forever ago about this problem. It's called the Ash problem, where Bell isn't as bad because it can negate the activation. Therefore, if you have another card, you can activate that again. If Ash had that, Ash would be way more fair. The problem is Ash goes negate that effect, not the activation, just like Flame does. So if you activate a card, let's say it's your search card, right? And it says you can only activate one of this per turn. Activate, negate. So they negate your card, they return a resource to deck, and they draw a card. So that flame replaces itself. It went +1. It's basically Pot of Greed in a really weird, convoluted way. It's Pot of Greed against you, and if you happen to have any more of those cards in your hand, you're screwed. Like in the mirror match, if you have Ketu, right, you go second, you activate Ketu, they flame it, and you have multiple Ketus in hand, you're out of luck. You can't activate anymore. It just negates the effect. This is what I'm talking about. Konami has absolutely no concept of balance. The game is meant to just be the most frustrating thing ever, the most overpowered, overtuned thing ever. And so that if you are one of the luckier ones, right, all Yu-Gi-Oh players fall on a spectrum. Some are luckier, some are less lucky. And I'm talking like that changes from tournament to tournament. But in a tournament, let's say you are very lucky in a tournament and you play through that tournament and you win some dice rolls, win a ton of dice rolls. Going first, you don't see a lot of your hand traps. Maybe you see one or two, just enough to be able to make your combo and then back it up with one or two hand traps. And then going second, you draw your one or two combo cards with 4 hand traps. You're going to cook in that tournament. And quite frankly, the only thing and only skillful thing you need to do is your ratios in your deck, right? Your deck building process, I guess, which you can just net deck from like Jesse Cotton or someone else and just learn it, and memorizing the combo. If you can do that and luck is on your side, you can top a tournament in this game, which is so cringe. You can go ahead, not going back to my chess analogy from the last video, you can go ahead and try to play chess. Go to a tournament, go play chess. And if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know the ins and outs and don't know openings, don't know middle game, don't know end game, you will get absolutely destroyed. Which then shows that chess is a skill game and Konami's Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just a pay-to-win simulator or a luck sack simulator. Nothing else, nothing more, unfortunately. And I hate talking about the game like this because I like the game. I made a freaking channel about this game. That's how dedicated and that's how much I want this game to be good. And instead of Konami, I feel like Konami doesn't even take it as seriously as I do or some of you others do. I made a freaking channel, a Discord, my own format with some of my buddies. We made our own format, our own ban list that we innovated and customized to make the game as fun as possible. And it is actually really fun. We have tournaments in the Discord. Go down below if you want to join us. But if I can do it, and I'm just some guy, why can't Konami? Why can't Konami take it into their hands? What, are people going to revolt because you banned a ton of negates and a bunch of floodgates? Dude, of course not. Of course not. I feel like I don't want to spin my wheels, and I don't want this video to be too long, but I wanted to follow up. I wanted to elaborate more on my thoughts. The frustration here is just on another level. And I feel your guys' frustration as well. You guys had great ideas. Some of you suggested that the game be rebooted. Some of you guys suggested that new mechanics, new ideas, like summon, each player can summon and activate cards at the same time, almost like a turn 0. And then turn 1 is the person that won coin toss. They can go, or not coin toss, dice roll. They can go then first and do their thing, and then you can respond. All of these are good ideas. The problem with any of these ideas, such as reboots, such as special summon limiting to 5 or 3 or whatever, is Konami will still make stuff under those stipulations broken as hell. Just like every single master rule, when they introduced Pendulum, they made broken stuff through that mechanic. When they introduced links broke the game more than anything. A lot of times, if you try to change the game too much, you could break the game in a wholly different way. One way that I could see it being broken is if you're going first, and let's say you have special summoning limits. You summon your dude, right? Let's say you have, think about last year in that format like that, 3 to 5 summons. If it's 5 summons, cool, Cash doesn't care. You would just have summon Unicorn, search Theosis, Fenrir, make Rise Heart, banish a card off the top 3 cards of your deck, and then make a Rise Heart. And now you have a Macrocosmos 3000 attack that can banish stuff from your field, which is an insane boss monster. What deck can out that without their grave through 5 summons? All of a sudden, going second is actually impacted by the special summoning limiting as well. Because functionally then, in that type of format, you would only be able to play Kashtira. What deck can make Kaijus cut out that? But then we're back at square one, where you need a certain card to out that stupid board, right? So no matter what you do, Konami, with card design, will break that game. So ultimately, again, the problem falls back on Konami. It's not about a rule. It's not about a reboot. It's not about this or that. It's the card design. It's the company. It's the greed. I don't care if you make money. I don't care if you make good cards. But make good cards like Mirror Jade, like Fire King High Avatar Garunix, the newer one. I forget, but it's like I keep mixing up the old level 8 and the new one. Making quick play monster hand traps that are in theme, like your Fimenas, like your Kirans, like your Sharvaras, like your Izunas, I guess, right? Just don't make it make a Ripper, right? Make it make a Jax, which would be a lot more interesting because, oh wow, all of a sudden Jax is summoned, Jax can pop, and like a lot of stuff pops up. Like, that's cool. You just make a negate off of it, it's cringe again, right? I don't know. I feel like I don't want to go too hammer time all over the place. I just wanted to make a video to talk a little bit further about my thoughts. I wanted to also thank you guys because truly I was blown away by the support. We're at over 6,000 views. I think this is, for such a short time, my best performing video. The likes, the comments, they all blew me away. Such thoughtful thoughts. I mean, dude, I was getting like paragraph comments where I'm reading there. I'm like, oh my God, I got stuck on the toilet. I was like, I've been on the toilet for 30 minutes replying comments. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you guys. That was awesome. And thanks for subscribing. Thanks for everything. If you guys haven't subscribed yet and you like this type of content, we're going to keep going down this train of just discussing Yu-Gi-Oh!, discussing what things can be done, what can be improved, what are some of the negativities here, what are the negatives with the game, what are the positive. We could talk about positive things as well, you know what I mean? But if you guys want to stick around for that in the future, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and comment down below. What do you guys think? Is a reboot idea correct, or is it card design? I think is the problem. Just let me know, and then I will see you, as always,